Rant summer is here. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com. We got all of your summer needs covered. From bathing suits to swim trunks, flip-flops and tote bags, towels, tanks, and muscle shirts. Oh, and you can't forget about the visors and the hats. It's lit. So head on over to ajsrantroom.com and get your summer poppin'. You won't be disappointed. It's always lit over at ajsrantroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to ajsrantroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. What's good, everybody? Welcome to my lunchtime rant. Hope all is well in your world. Happy hump day. Hope all is good and sexy and fun. We got a couple of things to cover today. One being obviously Karmelo Anthony being indicted yesterday, but I really want to get to this New York City mayoral BS that went down last night in their primary, but we'll do that after we cover this. So your boy Karmelo Anthony was finally indicted after the for those who don't know, let's give a little backstory. Back in April, there was a stabbing at a track meet, which resulted in the death of Austin Metcalf. Austin Metcalf was a star football player and by all metrics, all around good kid. Karmelo Anthony, what the hell was he thinking? I don't know. That's for only he knows what the hell he was thinking in that moment. And the question I always ask was it worth it? Was whatever you were mad about in that moment or whatever was going on, was it worth it? I'll answer it for you. No, it wasn't worth it. Because imagine all the great things you could be doing right now. Planning your summer vacation. You just graduated high school. Your parents are proud of you. All of that stuff. But no! We want to bring knives to track meets. Put it in our bag and then sit where we know we shouldn't be sitting. Then after we do that, we decide, oh, well, I'm going to cause a kerfuffle here and then give premeditation to the state of Texas. All right. Let's check out this the announcement of the indictment from the district attorney. What's his name? Greg Willis.
Good afternoon. Earlier this spring, our community was shaken by what happened at a school track meet in Frisco. The violent loss of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. For weeks now, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury, and today I summarized that evidence, and I asked the grand jury to return a first-degree murder indictment against Karmelo Anthony, which they did. With this indictment, the case now moves formally into the court system. From this point forward, we'll continue doing our job both fully and fairly to pursue justice under the law. As for the scheduling of the trial, that will be up to the court. but when the time comes, we will be ready. Now, we know that this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond, and that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core. But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves. We're also mindful of Austin's family and everyone who loved him. Please keep them in your thoughts, and if you're willing, your prayers as well. Finally, let's remember that a defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
Amen. Yeah, what he said. In the court of public opinion, we already heard what we heard and saw what we saw, and it is what it is. It's just a matter of the state to prove the case. And clearly, the state did enough to get a grand jury to say, yeah, this was premeditated. Because we tend to think that premeditation means you took like 6 months to plot it, you put all these players together, and then you executed your plan. No. Premeditation could happen within seconds. All right. So obviously, whatever they presented to the grand jury, they were like, oh yeah, this is absolutely with premeditated, because legally, we I know we like our feelings. We all love our feelings. But then there's the law. There's the legality of it. Right. So to prove premeditation, if said moment, like you have a gang of witnesses who have said, hey, yeah, he said, touch me and see what happens. There's your premeditation right there, because he already knew what he was going to do if Austin Metcalf touched him. You already knew you was going to draw your weapon, which wasn't warranted in that moment. Your life wasn't in danger. There was no imminent threat. You could have walked away. See how easy that is? Yeah. There's a time to buck up and beat your chest. This wasn't that moment. You're at a track meet at school. Yeah. I don't, whether you were supposed to be there or not, who cares? The bigger point is you did something horrendous to somebody, and yes, you have the right to defend. You have the right to a speedy and fair trial, and you will get such. But the court of public opinion, we heard what we heard, we saw what we saw, and we're good. You're going to get punished for this. And it's a sad situation all around, because 2 lives are gone. Austin's gone forever, and you've ruined your life forever as well. You've put your family in a very shameful light. And here's the thing: you can raise your kids as great as you want to, but ultimately, they still gonna make choices you may or may not like, or do things in the world that you didn't raise them to do. So, I don't think this was a question of how he was raised. I just think this was somebody who made a stupid decision. We were all teenagers once. You were never flitty, but it is a significant burden of proof to prove first degree, right? Because you have to prove it's premeditated. So you have to present to this judge, you have to present the elements of the crime. You have to be able to articulate how this was premeditated, because it's not obvious, right? It's not like, okay, he plotted for 5 months and I'm gonna go to a track meet and it's all documented in some sort of notepad or notes on his phone or something, like literally. But if it went down as it's being said it did, and as it looked in that grainy video that many folks saw, yeah, I'm really interested in how the defense is gonna play this, because I don't see how you pull off a self-defense claim in this case, but we'll see what happens. Now, the race issue, and I've said this a billion, quadrillion, a billion, zillion, and I'll probably say it a billion more times. I don't give a damn about the color of a perpetrator. I don't care. If you're a white perpetrator, if you're black, if you're Hispanic, you're Asian, I don't give a week. I don't care. I had some dummy in my comment section for I did a video yesterday on this, and I posted on my Instagram and TikTok. So on Instagram, of course, well, black people have been killed by white people in this country for centuries. And if you don't get the out of my face with that in 2025 America. And I was telling Prince yesterday during the production meeting, imagine if you was Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman paying for the transgressions of people you ain't have nothing to connect it to. But because you're white and the perpetrator's black, now we made this a race issue, and now your case gets railroaded into misjustice. Injustice, isn't it? Yeah, injustice. because you happen to be white and the perpetrator was black over some historical hurts and emotionalism, not facts and evidence, emotionalism. So, yeah, this is not a black and white thing. It's a right and wrong thing. So you can't lean on Emmett Till for a Karmelo Anthony. I would never disrespect Emmett Till in that way. Are you ridiculous? This savage went somewhere, whether he belonged there or not doesn't matter, but he went there, committed a crime, and then did the dumbest thing he could have. Of all things, you spoke to law enforcement. When they put your black ass in the back of that car, you should have just sat there and shut the hell up. That's it. We're done. We're not talking. So he wasn't overcharged. This is not a race issue. And yeah, of course, it sucks all around, but it's first degree because he had a knife in his backpack. He got into an argument and then allegedly threatened the person. Touch me and see what happens. If somebody pushes you or is rude, that's not grounds to stab them. People are going to be rude. People are going to be mean in a moment. People may, it is not even whatever happened. Nothing happened that warranted the reaction that Austin got. Nothing we've seen so far. So I will be very, and of course, I'm gonna follow this trial and bore the hell out of y'all because I'm gonna talk about it like they talk about the Diddy trial. I don't really care about the Diddy trial. I just like to get the daily updates and just move on with my day, and I really don't care about the talk about it here. But there's some murmurs that the trial might be dismissed, and then some other stuff, and so we'll see what happens. But that's why it's a first degree case, not because the state of Texas wants to railroad a nigger. That's not why it happened. That's not why it happened. It happened because you committed a crime and then you flapped your gums. Yeah, that's why it happened. Yeah. So the idiots making this about race, whether it's the Karmelo side or whether it's the Austin side, you're all stupid. If you make this about race, you're a simpleton. You're the exact person I do not want to have conversations with because you're all morons. You should all be pickled. Yeah, that was a good freestyle. Pickle them all. We are bored with this hyper racialism, this historical hurts. Oh, black people mistreatment. Oh, blah, blah, blah. We are more than water hoses and dogs being sicked on us. We are more than black and white images. You still have to do right. You still have to obey the law. You can't show up to a track meet because Emmett Till got killed in the 50s and say, well, I'm doing this for Emmett Till. Your ass is going to jail. Period. So to sit up here and act like white people today have to pay for the transgressions of white people in the years past, ridiculous. You sound stupid. How about you don't stab someone in the heart for no reason over some dumb shit? How about you walk away or just have the physical fight? Because you remember all the black people. Well, he was a big kid, and little scrawny Carmelo was just sitting there eating a popsicle, and he decided he wanted to mess with him. No, you should have had to fight anyway. I don't give a damn if Carmelo was 7'7". So either you brought the knife because you can't fight, or you have some sort of mental issues that need to be worked out or whatever. I don't care. You did what you did and you're going to pay for it. And the state of Texas, I don't, depends on will they have mercy? I don't know. But according to the criminal justice system, you are an adult. You will be tried as such. And, hold on. We're always prepared here. Share. All right, great. Now we figured that out. You know, we produce a nice show for you. We have a nice spread. We have a lot of what do they call that? Horse divers. We got plenty of horse divers for you today. Oh, horse divers. There we go. Horse divers. Okay, let's get that logo out of here. Abandon the logo. There we go. It's abandoned. All right. Now I can find the tab. That'd be great. Blah, blah, blah. All right. The lovely and reliable CBS News. Karmelo Anthony, the now 18-year-old accused of fatally stabbing another teen, Austin Metcalf, during an altercation at Frisco ISD track meet in early April, was indicted for murder by Collin County grand jury yesterday. Anthony, who was 17 at the time of the incident, was arrested on April 2nd in connection with the stabbing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf during a track meet at that stadium's name. The teen, who is facing a first-degree murder charge, has been on house arrest since being released on a reduced bond on April 14th. If convicted, Anthony could face a possible sentence of 5 to 99 years or life in prison. In the Texas criminal justice system, 17-year-olds are considered adults. You're grown. You're going to be in there with Big Mac, John, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike Ralph. All of them going to be in there with you, boy. You don't care that you 17. You're 17-year-old. You're a grown man. Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis announced that his team worked to present evidence to the grand jury for weeks. We heard all that. We heard what he said. We don't need to quote him again. Willis acknowledged Austin Metcalf's family following the formal indictment, asking the community to keep them in their thoughts and, if you're willing, in your prayers. Anthony's attorney, Mike Howard, released a video statement after the indictment saying, in part, Karmelo and his family are confident in the justice system and the people of Collin County to be fair and impartial. Of course, Karmelo looks forward to his day in court because it's not only in a trial that the full story can be heard and that impartial justice can be done. Howard continued. We expect that when the full story is heard, the full story, the prosecution will not be able to rule out the reasonable doubt that Karmelo Anthony may have acted in self-defense, not spelling his name like the basketball legend Karmelo Anthony. The next step in the legal process will be assigning a trial judge who will then set a first appearance court date. That first appearance could be days. Please let it be days. Please let it be within a couple of weeks, but not months. We can't wait months. We waited all these months for this indictment. Now let's just get to the trial. We need a fair and speedy trial. Yes. Frisco ISD footage released surveillance footage of the fatal incident in mid-June. The video recording began several minutes before the altercation between Anthony and Metcalf. The camera position near the press box captured half of the field at that named stadium. The tent where the incident occurred near the 50-yard line. Due to the camera's distance, individuals are not easily identifiable in the images, but they have other footage. I can promise you they do. At about 9:55 a.m., a sudden movement is seen under the tent, followed by altercation between two figures. So that was probably the fight that broke out. Frisco ISD officials said that in the moment the stabbing occurred, several people can be seen walking and running away while others approach the area. Look at Austin. What the woman say in my live stream when this first broke? Oh, he's the all-American, strong, strapping young man. Anyway, minutes later, an ambulance arrived, entering the gate near the end zone and driving to the 50-yard line. Paramedics appeared to realize they couldn't reach Metcalf, who was in the bleachers with the stretcher. They ran it to the end zone, then carried it into the stands. While paramedics worked on Metcalf, someone placed a crime scene tape and unrolled the blue tarp higher in the stands behind the tent. According to the footage, Police later said this is where the knife used in the stabbing was found. Karmelo was quickly taken into custody. And this is where the dummy said this. Once the arresting officer said, I have the alleged suspect in custody, Anthony reportedly told the officer, I'm not alleged, I did it. You think this officer is not going to be a witness for the state? Anthony then said that Metcalf put his hands on him after he asked him not to. Again, what society? I don't know. Maybe it's something I missed. I wasn't raised in the best way, but I do know that somebody putting their hands on you isn't grounds to take their life or to harm them with a knife. But maybe, that's just me. After Anthony was placed inside the vehicle, he asked an officer if Metcalf was going to be okay and if what happened could be considered self-defense. You are dumb, sir. The last thing you should have done was talk to these officers. That is the absolute last thing you should have done. But hey, good luck. You will have a fair trial. You will have a hopefully speedy trial. I will keep y'all posted. I will bore you to death with this because I'm very fascinated by this case. And if we could just take the race issue off the table and just get back to right and wrong and justice, that would be amazing. Now, let's move on to my hometown. New York, big city of dreams. Everything in New York ain't always what it seems. New York City. What the hell is this? Can y'all explain to me how Zoran Mamdani is now your Democrat nominee for mayor of New York? Can you explain to me how that went down? I know maybe there's something I'm missing here. Hmm? Maybe I lost the plot line or something. So y'all went from Michael Bloomberg, because when I left New York, Michael Bloomberg was mayor. And then right after that, y'all got Bill de Blasio. Then y'all saw how he handled COVID, a mess, a shit show. Then you saw how then you elected the black version of him, Eric Adams, who then decided he wants to play moderate and left the Democrat Party to be an independent, and he's running in the same mayoral race as an independent. And then y'all decided, well, Eric Adams just, even though, he's basically the black version of Bill de Blasio, let's make it a little bit more extreme. Let's make it a little bit more. Let's pick a sand nigga from Africa. Not only a sand from Africa, but he's a Democrat socialist endorsed by AOC bigly. And y'all said this is the solution. After years of impossible rent, high taxes, impossible cost of living, this is the solution. Oh, okay. Well, if this is the solution, good luck. I mean, what level of dumb do you have to be? I don't know. But let's look at your mayoral candidate in all of his magnificent glory. Roll it.
We have won because New Yorkers have stood up for a city they can afford. A city where they can do more than just struggle. And it's where the mayor will use their power to reject Donald Trump's fascism, to stop mass ICE agents from deporting our neighbors, and to govern our city as a model for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, sorry. That's your homie? That's the future. Okay, so let's explore this colored boy, these gang of color boys. You're sweating. Another one of my favorite movies named Cadence, starring Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, and Lawrence Fishburne when he was Larry Fishburne. That's how far back that movie goes. Anyway, let's look at this colored boy. You're sweating. So here's his website. Hold on, let me pull it up for y'all right quick. All right, there we go. Boop bit, what you got? Um, so this is your homeboy's platform. Oh, let's get rid of the watermark. Boom. All right. So these are, I'm not gonna go over every bullet point, obviously. For the sake of time and not to bore myself, because my entertainment comes before everyone. So freeze the rent, building affordable housing, cracking down on bad landlords, supporting homeowners, and ending deed theft. City owned. He wants affordability, so he wants more city owned grocery stores. Fast, fare free buses, because, that's going to work. Fighting corporate exploitation. Okay. Oh, you mean like the way AOC kept Amazon out of New York and literally thousands of jobs that could have helped out the economy in New York because you didn't want to make a deal with them? Because Amazon is supposed to be drain, and get no tax breaks and get nothing out of it. They're just supposed to give, right? Huh. No cost childcare. Who's paying for that? Baby baskets for New York City, for New York's newborns. That's interesting. Anyway, I don't care. K through 12. So Homeboy will ensure our public schools are fully funded with equally dispersed resources, strong after-school programs, mental health counselors, and nurses. This is all a lie. This is all bullshit. Paying for our agenda, taxing and the 1%. Zorhan has a plan to bring down the cost of living through city-owned grocery stores, universal child care, and other bold proposals, and he knows exactly how to pay for it. Zoran's revenue plan will raise the corporate tax rate to match New Jersey's 11.5, bringing in $5 billion, which I will corruptly spend somewhere else. And he will tax the wealthiest 1% of New Yorkers, those earning over $1 million annually, a flat 2% tax. Right now, city income tax rates are essentially the same whether you make $50,000 or $50 million. So why aspire to be anything if you're just going to take more of the money? What is the point of aspiring to do better and earn more if you're just going to have to give most of it back? What is the point of doing that? Do you think these millionaires and billionaires are going to stay? No, it's so easy for these people to go set up their home base Texas, and they just happen to do business in New York. It's so easy for them to go set up their home base in another state, in another part of the country. Y'all are so dumb. New Yorkers, y'all are, New York is was one of the greatest cities in the world. And I don't know what happened after Giuliani. That was our last great mayor. We'll go over the last few mayors in a moment. Where was I? Zorhan will also implement common sense procurement reform, end senseless no-bid contracts, hire more tax auditors, there you go, and crack down on fine collection from corrupt landlords to raise an annual $1 billion. Y'all fell for this. This is AOC. This is just AOC in sand nigga African form. That's all this is. This will never work. And the fact that y'all are pushing forward and getting more and more extreme in y'all voting practices and complaining about the same shit and more, I'm trying to find the logic. Because generally, as a New Yorker, we're pretty, we say it like we mean it, we call it as we see it, and then, but when it comes to voting, we just get really dumb. We keep voting for the same thing and blaming Republicans. There are no Republicans in your backyard making decisions. These are all Democrats and independents. They're not making the decisions for you. There are no Republicans there. They're few. They're scarce. And we'll go over that in a moment. Because the Republican Party, we got to do better. So climate, of course, here we go. Greeny New York has been at the heart of Zoran's time in elected office. He fought to establish the Build Public Renewables Act, the All Energy Buildings Act, defeated a dirty fracked gas. Okay, basically AOC. Okay, we got it. So a sand nigger from Uganda is protecting the Libiji Tidikwa. So the Libiji Tidikwa, queer trans New Yorkers. Oh, no, sorry. Queer trans people across the United States are facing an increasingly hostile political environment. New York City must be a refuge. But private institutions in our own city have already started. Wait. Hold on. Wait. No. Hold on. No, I'm gonna just read the whole thing. Where we have started capitulating to Trump's assault on trans rights. Meanwhile, the cost of living crisis confronts working class people across New York City, hits the LGBTQIA plus communities. You know what? So y'all are all broke, but if you sleeping with somebody of the same sex, you got it harder. Y'all fall for this if y'all want to. Healthcare, okay. Mm, mm, I'm bored. Y'all bored already? I'm bored. Trump proofing New York City. This should be interesting. Donald Trump is tearing at the fabric of New York City in his second term. He has deployed ICE agents to pluck New Yorkers from their families. He has sent already high prices skyrocketing with tariffs. That's a fucking lie. And he has threatened vital social services that working New Yorkers rely on every day. You know why the New Yorkers need the social programs? You know why? Muhammad. You know why? Oh, okay. Because you're taxing them out the ass for all this bullshit up here. That's why. You're paying $2,000 to have 5 roommates and 1 bathroom. Then you want to supply all of this stuff. This is all taxpayer money. You want free buses? Great. You'll have free buses. We're gonna have to raise the taxes to cover what we're not going to get in revenue from the MTA, because now the MTA, which has been a shit show for decades, now we want to give y'all free buses. We want to pay for newborns to have baskets. No cost child health care. This is why New Yorkers are broke. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump. But when you have a bunch of ignorant people who will believe anything because they can't see past Trump's dick to get to the truth, yeah, this is what you get. Emotional scare tactics. ICE is doing their job. ICE is doing their jobs. Y'all have an uptick of illegals committing crimes in your city, and you're mad at Donald Trump for doing something about it. Your mayor should have done something about it. Your governor should have done something about it. But they didn't. So then when the federal government comes in and says, well, hey, we'll handle it. Now you're mad at him. Then you go screaming at our border czar, Tom Homan, lunging towards him, and then you get tackled by a Hispanic ICE agent. But Trump's the problem. crime rates through the roof. Bad enough you have to deal with the crime that's already there. Now you have to add the illegal gangs and immigration and overtaking apartments and pulling on resources that could be allocated elsewhere. And this is what it's Trump's fault? No, it's your fault. And this goes to why I'm pissed at the Republican Party. Pissed at the Republican Party. This, ladies and gentlemen, is who the Republican Party has put forth as their nominee for mayor of New York City. Curtis, whoever. He's the same dummy that ran against Eric Adams in 2021. He was unopposed. He ran unopposed. Where's his picture? See, he wasn't even, you know what? You know what's so bad about this? There's no picture of him, but he wears that Charlie's Angels hat or whatever the freak you call it. And I think it's mentioned in here. Hold on, let me read it. Curtis Sliwa, whatever, has won the Republican primary for New York City mayor. He founded the nonprofit Guardian Angels, ran unopposed. He ran for mayor in 2021 and lost to Eric Adams. No matter what happens today, don't lose hope. The chaos and corruption on display aren't the end of the story. In November, we get to choose a better path, and that path is taking our city back. I've spent my life fighting for New Yorkers. I'll be the people's mayor. Okay, so Republican Party. Why are y'all not putting money behind this race? Because this is how this happens. The Republican Party is giving up. Why is there only one candidate? Where are the fighters? There are tons of Republican New Yorkers and Republican politicians in New York. Find them. Find them. Back them up and give them an opportunity to run. But no, we're putting up this thing again who's going to lose again. Because I saw the debate with Eric Adams. I was like, this is just pointless. Y'all might as well just appoint. Eric Adams should have just appointed himself. I knew there was no way in hell you were going to win. No way. And so you're going to lose again, and y'all going to put up the sand nigga as y'all mayor. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. How do y'all Republicans, how do y'all justify that? This is intentional. You are intentionally not supporting Republican candidates in the state of New York. Why? We need a backbone, Republicans. We can't reset the factory default, Mitt Romney type Republicans. We're not those Republicans anymore. The Republican Party was founded on being radical. We need radical Republicans back in the building. So when you're putting up useless candidates that you're not going to lose and you're not backing him, you're not even backing him. He wasn't important enough. If you Googled his name and said if you said Republican primary New York City, that was the only article that came up. Everything else was about the sand nigga. Everything else was about Mohammed. No press for him. He's getting no press. Which means he's probably not getting support for ads. He's not getting support for mailers. None of that. He's not getting any significant support. That's going to move the needle. And he's probably going to get even less of the vote than he got the first time. And now y'all are on the cusp of electing a Democrat socialist. Well, we got one smart Republican in New York, and that's Elise Stefanik. Is that how you say her name? Elise Stefanik. She's a congressional rep. Obviously, I don't think she's in the city of New York. I think she's upstate New York. But she's, of course, pissed off, as she should be. And she tweeted this: under Kathy Hochul's catastrophic failed leadership of the New York Democrat Party, a radical defund the police, communist, raging anti-Semite will most likely win the New York City Democrat mayoral race. So this was right before the race. So he won the race. And now he damn well at this point is going to be handed the damn victory at this point. Make no mistakes. It is because of Hochul and the New York Democrats' inept weakness and sheer incompetence that this has happened. Hochul and New York Democrats have embraced Marxism, anti-Semitism, anti-capitalism, and sheer insanity. She continues. New Yorkers understand that Hochul and far-left socialist Democrats are destroying our great state with sanctuary state and defund the police policies, high taxes, and raging anti-Semitism combined with failed, ineffective, and bloated government paid for by hardworking New Yorkers. Basically what I just said. When I was on Muhammad's website, basically what I just said. 1% ain't paying a damn thing more than they pay right now. If that was such an effective strategy, why didn't Bill de Blasio do it? He was y'all knight in shining armor, the greatest coming. No. Y'all voted for him so you can give those 5 thugs their $41 million payout. And then did nothing for the city in return except parade his black wife and his son around because he has an afro. Y'all, New Yorkers, y'all really this dumb? Voters will say enough is enough next year. No, they won't. They won't. Not enough. Hochul, the worst governor in America. I agree. Well, nah, she's up there. You just got a communist anti-Semite elected as the Democrat nominee for mayor of New York City. You have refused to disavow his dangerous rhetoric and policies, and you will be held accountable by New Yorkers. I don't think New Yorkers are going to hold anybody accountable. New Yorkers, this is y'all. This is on y'all at this point. The first question to be, so who the hell is this person and where did he come from? That should have been the first question. How the hell do we get 43%? Now, Andrew Cuomo, I'm no fan. But in my opinion, would be a better choice than Muhammad. Y'all went out and voted for this. And then you want to come to the federal government with your hand out crying that there's problems. So when the next riots go down and they start burning down your city because some thug got unalived, rightfully so, you think Muhammad gonna stop it? Muhammad gonna let y'all burn that city down. The taxes are gonna go up even more. You think the cost of living is impossible? Now he's not gonna go after no landlords. And you talk about anti-Semitism. You think them Jews are gonna do the right thing by you? You're an anti-Semite. Not that Jews own every building, but they own enough. You think it's gonna be that easy? Yeah, analytical. I need people to start being analytical and not emotional about these issues. You have to start thinking before you vote. You have to start researching people before you vote. Sitting here doing things by default has not worked for you. And I'm removed from the problem, so I don't care. But I still have friends and family there. And I just need some people to get their head out of their ass and realize there's no politician that can create a great life for you. This is not about creating a great life for you. This is about keeping you broke. If they can keep you broke, they can control you. You should not want more welfare programs. You should not want more broke people housing. That's not an aspiration. Why the hell would you aspire for the lowest? I'm going to aspire for the lowest possible housing. I'm going to aspire for welfare programs. I'm going to aspire for free health care. Why would that be an aspiration of yours? Why? No. Then somebody says that and then, oh, they don't care about poor people. No, I don't care about poor people. It's not about being poor. It's about what are you doing to no longer be poor? If you're not doing anything about it, then what are we talking about here? Boom. Then y'all blaming Republicans who aren't there to influence enough. Y'all blaming Donald Trump who does not influence the budget in your city. You're blaming Donald Trump for cleaning up your city, doing the job that your local elected officials should be doing. Complaining about problems for people that your mayor appoints. They ain't got nothing to do with the federal government. At most, the federal government might send a check, but they don't write no damn policy. These are all your local people. And let me just put this in perspective for you right quick, because sometimes you just need to see it so that you can say, oh, okay, this is me. So let's go down here. All right, cool. So here are the list of New York City mayors. You can go to Wikipedia, find us, just put in New York City mayors. And if I remember, there'll be a link in the description. Anyway. So yeah. Go down to where we're all alive. All right. So the last Republican mayor was Rudy Giuliani. I'm not counting Michael Bloomberg because he has flip-flop parties. Like people change draws. So one minute he's a Republican, he's unaffiliated, then he was a Democrat, now he's unaffiliated again. But that's what happens when you're a billionaire. You can do whatever the hell you want. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. He even bought himself a third term. See that? 2009? Bought himself a third term. Didn't change the laws going forward for all the mayors, just for himself. Yeah, I don't think I'm not done being mayor. I'm going to buy my way. I'm going to buy another term. And the greatest mayor, in my opinion, was this guy right here, Rudy Giuliani, the greatest mayor in my lifetime of New York. He cleaned up New York City. He put you remember they used to have the smut in the X-rated theaters right in Times Square and all in that tourist area, pushed them out to the fringes of Manhattan, cleaned it up, was tougher on crime. Y'all mad about stop and frisk, which I understand is unconstitutional, but y'all mad about that and less about the fucking crime. Maybe if you started snitching, they wouldn't be stopping innocent people to frisk them. Did you ever think about that? You have to contribute something too. You can't just sit here and think the government's always going to get it right. But no, AJ. We're waiting to be saved. Save me. Okay, so I left New York in 2013. So yes, I was right. Michael Bloomberg was mayor when I left. 2013, I left August 2013. Okay, then y'all elected this thing in January 2014. And he was mayor all through COVID. And then, well, not all through, because the beginning of COVID, the second year of COVID. And then y'all decided, well, we're locked down and we're, they're putting sick people in the senior homes to kill off the old people. And we're going to vote for another dummy. And then y'all put this dummy in office. All that, and y'all reached Mohammed So Mohammed is the solution out of this. A democratic socialist. A Democrat socialist is the remedy here. I don't know when y'all gonna figure it out. Maybe one day. It ain't my problem, but I'm just telling y'all. The problem after all that. Not me. Oh God, not commenting as me. I forgot. You should be able to comment as yourself. Quality control producer. Oh God. So after all that, you're still going to vote for Muhammad. You realize this socialism thing is just a sleigh ride to communism, and before you know it, y'all still gonna be voting. New Yorkers, get it together. Get your heads out your asses. Stop voting by default because it sounds good, it looks good, it sounds sexy. Aren't y'all tired of looks good, sound good, feel sexy, and then you get nothing out of it? You let them hit it raw. You letting these Democrat mayors hit it raw and leaving y'all to bear the brunt of their bad policies. You think the mayor is concerned about illegals? No, he ain't living amongst the illegals. You are. Y'all sitting here being taxed out the wazoo. Y'all sitting here with impossible rents. Y'all sitting here with a failing MTA. Where if it's not construction, it's some sort of delay or a train malfunctions. The problems are escalating, the prices are going up, and you're getting nothing out the deal. And let's be clear, the Republican Party, you are accountable as well because you're not putting any fighters in the race. Where are the dogs, the Republican dogs that could get in there and go toe to toe with AOC's pet? Where's the Republican dog, Republican Party? Y'all putting up the same, y'all allowing the same loser. And I'm not saying his heart's not in the right place, but he just ain't it. He's not it. He ain't got that dog in him. Giuliani had that dog. But you're going to look right in the face and make it clear, make it plain what it is and what it isn't and why it is and why it isn't. And can point out the history of New York and why New York City is failing right now. And articulate that it's not a Republican issue because there are very few Republicans around influencing the policy. This is all y'all. All of these decisions. Redlining. Y'all complaining about that. So we just gonna act like the city council is okay, mostly Democrat. Creates the zoning for the city, says where businesses can and can't build, says what's residential. Democrats. And if y'all try these billionaires on taxes, guess what they're gonna do? Move. It's very easy for them to relocate. They ain't got to blink twice. Relocate, boom, we out. Because you're being punished for being successful. Why would you want to be successful then? They need to keep y'all broke so they can keep the corruption going and they can keep getting fat on the hog, but they don't want you to. Wake up to the game, New York. We are bored. And in closing, in light of speaking of Donald Trump, I want to play this. I might get a copyright strike, but if I do, I'll just delete it later in the post. But we all know Donald Trump is frustrated with Israel and Iran right now, and he had his lash out yesterday while boarding Marine One, and he was very frustrated, understandably so. You know what I'm saying? And so, roll it, Prince.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. 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 They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't. Shout out to Trump. His heart was in the right place. He really wants peace in the Middle East. He really wants peace around the world. And you can only do your part in that process, right? You can only do your part in that process. You can't make other people be peaceful. You can say, look, I tried. I helped. I did my part. I did my work. But now it's up to y'all. Don't call me no more because I'm good. Y'all can sit up here and be reckless and crazy if you want to. I'd play it again, but I'm probably already going to get a copyright for that first time. But damn it, YouTube and their rules. And it'd be like the most innocent videos. And it's like, oh, copyright strike, copyright. And I'm like, really, bro? Anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in to my lunchtime rant. I really, really appreciated today's show. If you know any New Yorkers, text them, call them, say what's going on here, because this don't make no sense to me. Are y'all just really that blind, or are you dumb? Because it can't be that you're smart and informed. Because if you're smart and informed, you don't vote, continue to put in the very things that raise your taxes, your cost of living, because you know rich people can just leave. So if you're already aware of that, why pressure the rich? Why would you want to be successful yourself? Okay, the more money I make, the more of it you're going to take? Like, huh? Nah, Sway. Anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Shout out to all the day ones. Shout out to all the people in the chat. Shout out to the 73 people watching from wherever you're watching from. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. AJ's Rant Room all over the place. There's 2 podcasts. So this is the Lunchtime Rant, and then we have the Rant Experience, which is every Monday at 8 p.m. live as well. We drop content and things of that nature, and I'm working on getting like a text group so I can just send out like a mass text whenever I'm live, because I'm going through like different apps and then sending the stuff from this app, sending the stuff in that app, and I can just consolidate everybody in one place and say, hey, I'm live, click on it. Boom. Anyway, appreciate y'all. We will catch y'all mañana. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.